Good morning. I'm Eve, the Beardbarian from Beardbarian Entertainment, and this is a new episode of me tasting Beery Christmas beers. It's still morning here, but yesterday I didn't get around to making a video and tasting my beers from the calendar because I spent quite a bit of time working on the brewery. So today I'm gonna drink 2 beers since it's Sunday anyway. I'm not gonna spend too much time solving the puzzle, I already did it for you guys. So let's dive in and see what beers we are going to drink today. The first one is a beer from Vocation Brewery. Had some really lovely beers from them before. So it's a Toucan Tropic Ddh Ipa, so very hoppy flavors, probably on the very fruity side. Let's see, they're actually giving a description themselves. A pool of tropical flavors with vibrant notes of mango, citrus and pine. I've always wondered why some people see pine as tropic. I mean, there's pine in Belgium, a lot of pine trees here. There's a lot of pine trees in Scandinavia like Sweden and Norway. And I definitely wouldn't consider those countries to be tropical. So if you know why pine is seen as tropical by so many people, let me know in the comments. Yeah, so that's beer number 1 for today. The other beer seems to be an Irish export stout going by the name of Baylor. If I'm not mistaken, Baylor was an Irish giant from mythology who tormented ships with his giant terrific eyes. Here's a look at the can. So yeah, probably love sweetness since they do pair it with ice cream. Yeah, molasses, coffee, tan had, so probably quite a bit of sweetness, but hey, that's perfect. Today I got 1 beer. The IPA will be my appetizer, and this one will then be my dessert beer. So looking forward to tasting both of them. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. So here we are for our double dipper drinking. Now we start with the Vocation IPA, so Toucan Tropic Ddh. Now I wasn't sure what Ddh meant, so apparently it refers to dry hopping, which I find a bit superfluous because, you know, like most IPAs I know are dry hopped, which is basically the process where you add hops during the fermentation, as during boiling the hops become more bitter. If you add them after the boil, you get more like those fresh aromas, like the fruitiness, the herbalness, so they really want to get this really fruity, so that's why they add the hops during the fermentation. Now, what you sometimes get with dry hopping is very grassy, which can be nice in a small amount in the beer, but if you get like super grassy, you lose all fruitiness, and you basically get like, yeah, beer tasting like you are munching in your backyard. But hey, let's give it a shot. But yeah, you know, all these short words added to IPAs, like I get New England IPA, I get some of the other new styles of IPAs, but like Ddh IPA, help me if I'm wrong, but as far as I looked it up, it doesn't really mean much. As you can see, big difference between these beers and the beers we had earlier is that these come in a can. Now, cans have a lot of good effects on the beer. First of all, cans block sunlight 100%, and sunlight is very detrimental to hoppy beers because it kind of changes a molecule of the hops just a tiny bit and make it taste skunked, as we say, or if you want to talk regular people talk, it starts to smell like cat piss. So yeah, if you put your beer in a can, not gonna happen 100% protected from the sun. On the other hand, in a can you can't put as much carbon dioxide as in beers on the bottle, so you can't make it sparkle as much, can't make it bubble as much. So sometimes you get these like really fresh IPAs in a can, and then when you like, drink them, you lose that freshness because it becomes sweeter, it's more cloyy, it has less interesting mouthfeel because it doesn't have those bubbles. So you kind of lose all the effort they put into adding more hops because of sparkles. Like a less hopped beer in a bottle sometimes tastes much fresher just because of the extra bubbles and carbonization. But hey, that's enough talk. I already can smell from this distance like mango, 100% mango, which is definitely the kind of hops they use. It's also quite hazy, so let's give it a go. Again, from close up, 100% mango. So far, no notes of grass, at least not really. A little bit of the pine they mentioned on the can, but yeah, mostly the mango. Mango, a little bit of banana. So, rather sweet, not very bitter. It definitely tastes tropical. I'm getting notes of coconut, comes from the malt, getting the mango touch. It mentioned the citrus and the pine. I'm not getting a lot of citrus. Maybe completely at the end of the taste, there's some zestiness, but I'd say it's mostly when you have very hot beer, you're expecting lemon. In this case, it's closer to orange. Orange, a little bit of passion fruit. All in all, pretty neat beer. The mouthfeel is quite full, so yeah, it has a haze, has a lot of protein, and unlike the other beer we tried earlier this week, where you had like a very thick mouthfeel with a lot of bubbles, which gave it extra refreshingness. This beer is very full, doesn't have the bubbles to break up that fullness, and actually remains creamy, sticks to your tongue, to your cheeks, and gives you a really full feeling when you're drinking it. So yeah, it's definitely a good beer. I wouldn't say it's my favorite one, so I'm gonna rate this one 7.25 out of 10. With my earlier tasting, I was rating it up to 5, I think. But, you know, rating up to 10 allows for a little bit of more nuance. There's sometimes quite a bit difference between all these beers when you try to rank them. And if you only have like 5 numbers to pick from, it's quite hard to put them on a good line. Yeah. So the beer delivered on what was on the can. It was definitely a nice hazy IPA, lots of fruitiness, it really tasted very tropical. Yeah, some people who are like very traditional in the beers, I think would say, this is not beer, it's a cocktail or something. Oh yeah, why don't you go put an umbrella on it? But it's beer. It's here to stay, this kind of beer. It's nice, but you know, you gotta pick your moment when you drink it. I wouldn't drink it with a nice meaty dish. I wouldn't drink it when I'm just out for a pint with friends. It's definitely I would drink something as an appetizer, maybe have it go with a little bit of crisps, or even with a dessert. I can actually see myself mix this up with some real fruit, turn it into a little fruit salad, add a little touch of Cointreau, or another nice of fruity liquor. So that's that for the Toucan Tropic. Let's go for the Baylor Stout, so coming from the White Hack. And this one starts foaming up, so it's definitely alive. Baylor is coming at me here. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So nice, thick head. Very small bells in the head, so very sturdy foam, as I expect on a good stout. and it is, you know, from a distance it looks really black, but when you put it up against light, you get a nice ruby touch. So it has some redness in it. From a long distance, very nice coffee. Like, not the typical espresso smell you sometimes get from beers with black malts, but more like a latte. There's creaminess already in the smell, so it's I'm expecting real full mouth flavor, something that's gonna explode my mind. Okay, as I dive with the nose in it, you get more vanilla, which in combination with like the really coffee-ish taste kind of gives like the mocha ice cream feeling. Which kind of makes sense because, you know, the box had to pair it with vanilla ice cream. Yep, really nice. Some nuttiness like almonds in the nose. Well, I'm gonna stop smelling, I'm just gonna drink it. A lot of beautiful flavors. It's a bit, in terms of mouthfeel, it's a bit thinner than what I usually like. But you know, it makes it an easy drinkable stout. You should check on the ABV. It's only 6.5 ABV, so that makes this beer, it doesn't matter. Like, if it's a really thick stout, you usually see like 10%, 11% ABV, and that helps with slowing it down. If it's thin like this, you actually have to hold yourself back from not just drinking it down. And with it just being the 6.5 ABV, that's actually okay. It's not a disaster if you just swallow this one in a few drinks. It's quite refreshing despite the complex taste. Remains quite light. So coffee smell is definitely also represented in the flavor. I would still say it's kind of akin to a latte, but I'm picking up some flavor from, I like the green pepper. Now, green pepper in these coffee stouts, I don't like it that much. You often notice it when people start adding like grounded coffee beans or boil coffee and then add it. So I'm not sure if they actually used coffee beans. I'm not seeing it on the list of ingredients, but then again, lots of breweries keep their secret ingredients secret. Like, you're not obligated to mention all the ingredients, just the potential allergic ones. Yeah, definitely not on here, but it's a very nice stout. I'd say I'm giving this an 8. Quite a nice beer. No really off flavors except for like the green pepper that I don't like as much, but you know, might be something genetical. Some people pick it up in coffee, some people don't. But it's nice, refreshing, easy drinkable, which is, you know, rare in the stouts. Nowadays people sometimes really try to aim to make their stouts very heavy, leaving almost no space. Like, you'd almost forget that, you know, stout and porter used to be drinking beers for the working classes as well, and not just something like you sip like a glass of wine. This is really just like one of these nice full drinking stouts that you can both enjoy as a quick drink and as a full-blown after drink, like when you're trying to relax at night and have a really good evening. That's a really good stout for this. Personally, I'd love to see this paired, well, as the box suggests, vanilla ice cream. I'd go a step further. I'd go for banana split. I think banana gives a bit more creaminess. Like, if you bite a nice ripe soft banana, then drink this beer, it might, you know, blend in or contrast with the sharpness, with the easy drinkable, with the light factor of this one, and add a bit more thickness, a bit more creaminess to the beer. Other than that, I'd like trying it in a stew, but you might have to add some spices. You know, the vanilla might bang with your meat, pun intended. Yeah, with some extra spices, you could make it a bit more sharp, make it fit better with the meat, and you could have actually a really nice stew with this beer. yeah, definitely out of these two, the Baylor Stout is my favorite. So, I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check in tomorrow for another new beer video of the Beery Christmas calendar, and spread the word to your friends. Cheerios!